Assalamu alaikum, this is video 2. So yeah, as I was saying, you know, so they got to keep this very, very secret so that they could accomplish their plan, which was Iblis's plan, which is what he told Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the garden when he was created, and that was he was going to try to get as many people to go astray and disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as he possibly could. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, Iblis, that when he did that, Iblis, along with all those people that he misguided, would end up going to hell with Iblis. Okay? But that was what was the agreement Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made with Shaitan, or Iblis, or the devil as they called in he's known as in Christianity. You know, that he would be given his free time, you know, until mankind was raised, until Judgment Day. He would be allowed freedom until Judgment Day, and in that freedom he was going to try to misguide man all that he possibly could. Okay? And Allah warned mankind about what Iblis was going to do, right? Okay, so, and that's what he's still trying to do. So it wouldn't have done him any good to let anybody know that he was really around, because Allah, when he cast man, when he lowered mankind down to the lowest dimension of heaven, and that is the lowest, where earth is the lowest, because there's seven dimensions. So man is at the first, right? Okay, or he's at the lowest dimension. And so the Iblis was lower too. He was placed there too. Okay, mankind and Iblis and the woman was all three put together on earth, on this lower dimension together. They were all lower to the lowest dimension. So Iblis is around. Okay, but inshallah Ramadan, alhamdulillah Ramadan, his ass is locked up. Okay, that's what it said in Islam. During Ramadan, he's locked up, and the gates of hell are closed, and the gates of Jannah, which is paradise, is open, right? And that's why everybody, you know, all the believers have an opportunity to go to Jannah if they do really well during Ramadan, okay? Or they can get blessings, okay? A lot of blessings, okay? So that's what he said. So that's why he's being very secretive, and that's why he goes to those remote places of the earth to do his bit of genetic manipulation and building his laboratories, right? Such as we have in Egypt, right? That is very, very recognizable in regards to the pyramids and what the underground digging and the history on the walls and all of that stuff. And then the videos that I placed where there was the instruments found there in South Africa, I believe it was, were cone shapes and all this kind of stuff, where they were used for levitation, just like cones in the pyramids and all this kind of pyramids, like a cone, right? And again, used for levitations, right? Vibration, as we talked about in the current direct energy, as we talked about with Tesla's coil, right? So you got to remember all that stuff and put it all together. And as we said, though he can manipulate the gene and the genetic structure and all this type of stuff and create these hybrid human beings, he can't do anything like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his creations, right? Iblis's Neanderthals can only evolve, right? They can only go so far. They can't have that high intelligence as man does, and they cannot never have it, because why? Because mankind can always, African kind can always call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help them and guide them, right? You always have access. They don't. And they know that, so they know once you get that crown chakra open, they're done. They're done. They have no power, no control, because then you know there's nothing they can do. They have absolutely no power. And they're afraid of that. So 7 billion people doing that scares the hell out of them. So they need depopulation fast. They need it fast and ASAP, right? Especially before the Prophet Isa, the prophet born of a virgin, returns and wakes up everybody, okay? They have no chance. So they want to they want to try to help themselves now, okay? So beware of that. Okay, that's why it's depopulation time. It's not that there's not enough foods on the planet and all this kind of stuff. That's some bull crap. Not there's not enough land. No, it's no overpopulation. The cities may be, you know, crowded, and that's because people don't have money to spread out. They got to stay close, right? Looking for cheap housing, or they can't construct their own. Nature has been corrupted, right? So it's not that there's too many people on there. That's some bull crap. Okay? What? One tree grows how many fruits? And one tree comes from one seed, right? So that's some bull crap. And don't believe all that genetic manipulation of the food and all that. No, that's just to take all the nutrients out of the food so the body can starve and make the human more weak. It's all an attack on the human being. Okay? So, that's what, okay. So, and they did what? And they mess up your natural world, right? They mess with the natural environment to, again, to tamper with the, so that the human being, their environment will be toxic to them. Okay, and then if they destroy the ozone, right, those rays come in stronger, right, and then they can further manipulate the grid and get more energy, right, or usurp the energy, or what is harness the energy, right, from the grid. All right, the energy, those energies, magnetic energies, will be even more stronger, right? And more toxic to man, right? More cancer, right? La Kabbalah. Okay. So, and it's to their advantage, right, that the environment is toxified, becomes more toxic, right? And that's a means of what? Spiritual manipulation. More, and then what? With the, yeah, okay. Now, and then they also, of course, what? Manipulate the spirituality, right? They don't tell you about your crown chakra. They don't tell you about the pineal gland. They don't tell you how celestial bodies work. They don't tell you, you know, how sacred geometry works. They use all that stuff for themselves in regards to sacred geometry. It's about patterns, okay? And when you learn things in patterns and you start to connect the patterns and start to connect the dots, then you begin to see on a larger, grander scale. They don't want to tell you that. All that's nature. They want to say, oh, that's forbidden, that's satanic, that's demon. Don't learn about that. No, you need to learn about that because Allah created it like that. Okay? Allah created this universal system to work in a manner in which it's easy for you to understand, because you, mankind, humanity, African, okay, was created to do Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will on earth. You were created to act on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's behalf. And that's what made Iblis mad, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you the power to act on Allah's behalf. Not to Iblis, not to the jinn. Okay, and he was pissed off about that. Okay, it's like mankind got a promotion and he got jealous. He got mad because he felt he deserved it, because he was created out of what he felt was superior, which was fire, and his smokeless fire. But mankind, he felt man was created out of clay, and black clay. That's why I call my company, mashallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's why I call it black clay beauty, because all humanity is black, made of the black, beautiful black clay. Okay, so we're all beautiful black clay, and he's jealous of that. He hates that. Okay, and that's why he felt he should have got the promotion, because he felt he was better. Okay, he felt he should have the power of what he believes the power of God. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave mankind the power to act on his behalf, and through the knowledge of learning the knowledge. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam first. And that's when he brought Adam before mankind, and not mankind, but the angels. And when he told the angels to bow down, okay, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam, he brought Adam before the angels and asked the angels and told the angels to bow down before Adam, right? And the angels did, but Iblis did not, because he felt he was better, created out of more superior material, right? So, so that's why he's jealous, you know, because that black clay, okay, no, you have that knowledge, but you have the knowledge of what? How the system works. But they keep that for themselves so they can manipulate and have power over humanity. And they tell the Neanderthals how to use it. And then when the Neanderthals think they have some power, okay, because the jinn have been a long, long time, so they know things. Okay, but once mankind opens his crown chakra, they have the same knowledge they know, the man knows, right? So, But they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to have that power. That's why they want to keep you repressed. But anyway, so the jinn told these Neanderthal men certain secrets, right? And that's why they have their secret clubs. They tell these Neanderthal men certain things, and they tell them to keep it a secret. Don't let mankind know, okay? Don't tell anybody. Keep it a secret, okay? And then when it works when they think it works for them, okay, they think they have, no. And then the knowledge that the Iblis gives the Neanderthal, his Neanderthal male republic, right, is the same knowledge Allah used to create the universe. It's the same knowledge. So he's only giving them what they're supposed to know, or what mankind is supposed to know. He's only exposing to them what mankind is supposed to know. You know, like I said, the 666, that represents the carbon atom, right? What the carbon atom represents the melanin man, okay? Represents Adam, okay? Then you have the putting the eye, the single eye, or this right here. This is like the single eye in Islam, and among Muslims or Arabs, they call it the evil eye. It protects from the evil eye, right? And that's just the jealousy or energy, negativity coming through the vision of the eye, right? The visual perspective of the coming through the eye, okay? But really what it is that if all things revolve around Allah, if all things revolve around Him, coming from Him, He created it, all revolves around Him. Then Him being the center, everything revolves around it, kind of like Saturn, okay? But not being Saturn, but kind of like Saturn, just a visual, you know, image of what I'm talking about. If it's like Saturn, right, everything revolving, then it's like an eye, because that which is revolving around would be like a pupil, see what I'm saying? And then that which is revolving would be that outer part, okay? Or like, you know, the outer part, like the brown or whatever, okay, or blue or whatever, the eye color, right? So that's what that is. But they want to make the person scared of it and say, oh, that's satanic, you know, but it's not, because it said if you cover one eye and you look up at the sun each day for about a couple of minutes, it will enhance your pineal gland, okay, and help in the awakening, okay. And so they make you think when you cover one eye that, you know, it's satanic, and it's not. It's just not, because the pineal gland is what they say, it's aided in opening by light. And so if they look in the light, you know, the sun each morning, about 4 minutes a day, you know, each eye. Maybe shorter than that, you know, but you do your research and to check out how long and all this kind of stuff. See what I'm saying? But they make you think that's evil, and it's not. The Shaitan just uses those universal, that universal knowledge and the sacred geometry to his own benefit, and he gives that knowledge he exposes those Neanderthals, and those Neanderthals using it think, oh, this is so powerful, because it works, right? Mankind should have had this knowledge all along. This was the knowledge he was given. This is the knowledge he was using. Spiritual knowledge, spiritual power, okay? You know, what did you know, and that was what? So that man could be able, like the natives that were here in this land, in America, okay, that were called Indians by what? Columbus's ignorance, right? So they would do the rain dance, right? And when it became a drought, they would do the rain dance, and all that energy would come by, and they knew how to do it and to make it rain, right? So that's how mankind, and then when they came and destroyed the native culture and said that was paganism, okay? So, but yet they keep that knowledge, okay, for themselves. And then what? Build towers to exploit to harness the sun, right? And to create these storms and control the weather for when it rains and all this kind of stuff. But yet when the natives use their cultural traditions and spiritual traditions, it's pagan, it's devil worship. But nonetheless, right? They use it all the time. So you were supposed to know that knowledge at being human, okay? And when you open your pineal gland, you'll see how much knowledge you can gain. Okay, and using sacred geometry and all that. I suggest you study it. You look at it and examine. I'm not saying give up your religion. I'm not saying give up your spirituality, but that is an aspect of knowing spirituality, and all spirituality has it. All spirituality exercises the natural laws. Okay, the way Allah created. Like when Prophet Muhammad was walked among men. And they tried to say, and still to this day they try to say, oh, he wasn't a real prophet, when in reality he was. It's obvious, and because when he was given knowledge of spirituality, it correlated to, let's say like you have in Christianity. You have the cross, okay? And most think, oh, they have the cross because Jesus Christ died on the cross. Well, that's not why they wanted to put Jesus on the cross, okay? They wanted to put Jesus on the cross because the cross represented the 4 cardinal signs, which was Aries, Cancer, and Libra and Capricorn. So basically they're sacrificing mankind, all of mankind, because what, Jesus was supposed to represent mankind, African kind, right? Being a prophet, he has to be human, right? He has to have melon, right? So, and he has to be pure, right? Can't have no Neanderthal, can't have no dog, can't have no spit, right? So so now that eliminates him from being European, right? Eliminates him being Neanderthal. So, and not to say the Europeans are my European African brothers are Neanderthal. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying there are such beings as hybrid Neanderthals, and we all know that. So we're just saying that the prophet born of a virgin was not a Neanderthal. He was not. And it had no Neanderthal in him, and he had to have hue. Okay? Yes, humans have hue. We're born to have hue. Okay, now, so when they put him on the cross, it represented putting all humanity on the cross, right? And put him not so much on the cross, but destroying man throughout the universe. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what the cross represents. It represents the cardinal cross. The cardinal cross is that cross in the universe of all 4 cardinal signs. So that's what that represents. It doesn't represent what you think it does. It's and all signs have that, right? All religions have aspects of spiritual laws, and spiritual laws are laws of physics, okay? And all of them have that. Okay, like Muslims praying to the east, right? What? Because, and some would say, okay, that would be like sun worship, the sun rises in the east. But no, everything is in order. Everything is in line with the sacred geometry. Everything is in line with the sacred geometry, with the vortexes. All of that is in sync. Even Islam is in sync with all of that. With nature, it's in harmony with nature. Everything is in harmony with the universe. And if a religion is out of harmony with that, it's, if the teaching, let's put it this way, the teaching, if the teaching, the spiritual teaching is out of harmony with all of this, with the universe, if it's out of sync with the universe, then it's not a religion. And killing and shedding blood is out of sync. Okay? Islam, you study your Islam. Christians, study it's yours too. Just like the Bible was for me too, okay? I can't disrespect the Bible, and I can't disrespect the Torah. Prophet Isa, when born of a virgin, when he comes back, he's coming back for me too. I'm a Muslim, yes, and he's coming back for me too. And the Mahdi, okay, will be with him, okay? And Muslims believe in the Mahdi, okay? And he's not a prophet. The Mahdi's not a prophet. He's just like Moses had his brother Aaron. Like all prophets had, a partner. Well, the Mahdi will be like his partner. okay, his spiritual companion, and not companion as in, that kind of stuff. No, no, a friend, a companion, like the prophet born of a virgin had his apostles. Okay, he would be like his spiritual companion. So yeah, all spirituality has is in sync with the laws of physics, okay? And as I said, it's in harmony with the universe. It's in harmony, okay? Just like Muslims, the Muslim calendar is on the lunar calendar. It's in harmony with the moon cycle, okay? Ramadan is the 9th month, okay? There's a lot of stuff significant with the 9 months of pregnancy, right? 9 months of there are a lot of things in harmony with 9 months. I didn't do all that, but what I'm trying to say is the sacred geometry is in regards to patterns. So all like Judaism and Christianity and Islam, they all follow along with certain universal. They're all in harmony with the universe. But the thing about Christianity and Judaism, they kind of remove some of that spiritual teaching to place that teaching out of harmony. But Islam is still is in sync. That's why they want to get rid of Islam. That's why they want to pollute Islam, because it's still in harmony to tell you how to get back to your crown chakra, how to get back to your faith. And I need to, oh no, I'm fine. How to teach you how to get back to Allah, closest to Allah, so that you will have that spiritual power, whereby you will be able to protect yourself from beings like the Anunnaki and oppression and social ills. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but so they manipulate those laws. They use it. They use it for themselves. They use that knowledge for themselves. Those Jinn Anunnaki. They use it because they have knowledge of it, because they've been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and they were around before humanity was created. So they have knowledge of how it works to some degree. Allah gave them knowledge too, okay? But He gave mankind a certain kind of knowledge whereby mankind will be able to do Allah's will on earth. When mankind was to be His vicegerent, his representative on earth, to do Allah's will on earth. Care for the environment and care for the animals and all that. Not so much be a shepherd and all that kind of stuff, but let's say if the if the herds were getting low, be able to pray for them to bring up their flock, or you know what I'm saying, so that they would be able to increase their number to keep the earth in balance, right? So that's what he was supposed to do. But the man didn't get enough after the fall. He didn't get a chance to grow again, right? At least like a quarter, like what do they call, intercept the ball. He intercepted the ball, right? The spiritual knowledge from man while he was, or not so much, he intercepted mankind from getting the spiritual knowledge, okay, while he was still young and unaware of his potential. He removed the potential for him to get knowledge. No, he removed the opportunity for him to get knowledge of self, okay, and that's what he lacks, knowledge of self, the ability that he has as in being a man, okay. He didn't give him that chance to become, let's say, a mature, spiritually mature. Physically mature, yes, to be slave, yeah, but spiritually mature, he removed that. And every time the prophets came to give them, to reacquaint mankind with their true spiritual potential, that's when what? They were attacked by what? Those Neanderthal hybrid governments that they had, or people that they placed, those people they placed in high positions of high spiritual beings in places of high places and principalities, they were interrupted. Those were the ones who attacked the prophets and all that kind of stuff, right? Because what did they say? What? Worship only the gods of Rome? And I'm just using Rome as an example, but Egypt was the same way, right? Because remember, Moses had to go to Pharaoh, right? Because Pharaoh was a hybrid too, okay? Inbreed. What do they call it? What do they call it? He was a half-breed. He was a half-breed, right? And maybe not even, yeah, he was a half-breed. Half human, half something else. So, yeah. So they interrupted the prophets when they tried to talk to man or kill some, you know, or tried to imprison some or decapitate the heads off some, right? Like John the Baptist, right? Okay. So they do that so that man will not spiritually mature and his crown chakra will be open. The spiritual maturity is what? The crown chakra open, right? Okay. So they do that. Okay. We're going to take a break here. No, I can go 5 more minutes. Okay. So, so they maintain this deception, okay, by using what? The physical characters, the half-breeds, right? To keep them in places of position and power, like they call themselves the black nobility, right? And the 3 crown heads, which represent the dog, which represent their commercial trinity, right? And we'll talk more about that. Okay, so they mentally enslave the human population using fear, bloodshed, and manipulation, depopulation, global destruction, and all this kind of stuff. Toxic vaccines and various other means of destruction, right? War, pandemics, and starvation, all these different things. Constant social unrest is what they do. Destroy, divide and conquer, racism, poor education system, poor food, right? Poor nutrition, debt, all these different kinds of things, right? Constantly working themselves to death, stress, all of these things, right? Classism, all of that. So that's what they do to maintain social unrest, okay? Social engineering, right? Okay, so with this, okay, we talked about that, okay, with the, okay, the design, okay, that's what I said, they create racism, they create hatred, commercial competition, to set man against man against man, and create a dog-eat-dog world, right? And they use misogyny and prejudice, because what? All of these social unrest, believe it or not, it comes from the Vatican. It comes straight from the Vatican. Okay, it comes straight from the head, straight from the top, right? Implemented by what? By the crown, right? Because all of them are crowned. It's divided. The headship of God, their God is divided. Their 3-headed dog is divided, right? Between the Vatican, which is his father head, then it's divided between the mother head, which is represented by England's crown. Then it's represented by the body, right? The head of the crown of the body, right? Which would be the Son, right? So we have the Father, the Son, or the Mother, which would be considered the Holy Ghost, right? And then we have the Son, right? And the Holy Ghost, because the holy vessel or the holy girl, she carried the Son, the Holy Son, right? So that's the 3 heads, right? The Trinity for the commercial world, right? Because it counterfeits everything, right? So then you got the Holy Girl, which is the crown head in England. She controls the body, right? Because, right, she gives birth to the body, right? So she controls the body. So, and she controls the Son, who she places over her body, right? Who stands in for the Father, right? Because the Father's just a spiritual head. He contributes that spiritual factor, right? So the Pope contributing the spiritual factor. He reads the logos, the Word of God, right? And to be implemented by the body, right? Carried out by the body, okay? And the body, what? Carried out by the mother, right? She tells the children what to do, the Son, right? And the Son is over the body of man, right? He controls the man, right? Human, right? So that's the 3 crown heads. one is the Pope, the Vatican, the Crown of England, and then what? The commercial world that controls the body, right? The commercial world, okay? And who controls that? That would be Rothschild, right? And then he would be, his home would be, for him, it would be Israel, okay? That would be Israel, okay? And Israel stands for, L represents high, high, well, no, we were going to talk about, okay, we'll go somewhere else, okay? But anyway, that's what their three crown heads represent, okay? And you have 3 locations, right? They're trying to be 3 locations, right? Well, we do have 3 locations. We have the crown head, the spiritual head, the Holy Ghost, or the Holy Vessel, which had the Holy Son, right? Which, okay, and that's why her son is called the crown head, right? Or the crown prince, right? The crown head. She gives birth to the crown, the prince, which supposed to represent Jesus, right? And then you have, but really who represent that right now is the commercial world, which would be controlled by the Rothschild, right? Okay. So they created all this unrest, okay? And they're the ones in the high places and principalities. That's where the Neanderthals reign, and that's why the people got to escape. And together, it's considered to be Babylon, and that's why the people got to get out of Babylon. Okay, you ain't got to do war against it. You ain't got to break no laws. You ain't got to do nothing, but you do got to get out. Okay, you do got to get out and have your own sovereignty and have your own practice your own spirituality and govern yourselves through the spiritual laws by being obedient to them, right? Okay, you got to get out, because that commercial world, the world of that empire is, inshallah, Allah is going to destroy, because what the prophet's going to come soon. He's going to come soon, because the Dajjal, he's born, and the prophet's supposed to come and destroy the Dajjal when the Dajjal is a young man, and the Dajjal is 14 right now, because he was given birth in 2001. No, 2002 is when he was given birth, and that makes him 14 now. So the prophet Isa is going to come and destroy him by looking him the Dajjal straight in the eyes, and at that time the Dajjal will know he's not God, because he's been told right now he's God. Yeah, I gotta go video 3. Assalamu alaikum.